Congressman Huizenga about shock.
Which we'll get to in a second. We have some other issues that are pressing first. Yes.
Well, it's been just a little more than a week since the United States Navy SEALs successfully took out Osama bin Laden.
Yes, his death has been all around D.C. and really all around the world. And this discussion of whether those photos of his dead body should be released to questions surrounding our nation's security. So joining us this morning, again, Representative Bill Huizenga with more on just really what's been going on in Congress since bin Laden's death.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you as well. I'm sorry I should have done a little shuffle off to Buffalo.
Well, you did a little dance step on the way in.
Yeah, I should have had my camera.
It ain't no running man like you do. So.
I don't even know that mine was a running man either. That was bad.
Neither.
Well, all right, on more serious things now, of course, all the talk about Osama bin Laden. Your thoughts now, the president has said, hey, we're not going to show the photos. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, actually, I think it was probably a prudent move to do that. We needed to have the proof in case there was anybody, whether it was in the Western world or the Arab world, saying, no, it really wasn't him, and that we had those question marks out there. But you've had his family come forward. You've had the al-Qaeda organization itself come forward and say, yes, it was him. So I don't see the purpose. I don't see what good comes out of it. So I support that. Now, I did ask, however, I did ask Mike Rogers, who's the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. He's the one that took Pete Hoekstra's place. He's from Michigan also. And I said, Mike, is it him?
Right.
Are we sure we got him? And he said, no, there's no doubt. You know, both the DNA and the photographic, and then the family. This was last week, so then the families and those kinds of things were starting to pop up. So we know it's him.
Now, I think a lot of people are wondering, okay, if Pakistan had this compound for the past 5 years and bin Laden was staying there, how did they not know about this? And did they not, A, do anything about it, or B, alert their so-called ally, the United States, so we could come in and help them out?
Well, it's pretty clear to me that Pakistan is fractionalized. I mean, there's a lot of different opinions, and you've got a lot of division both within the government and then the ISI, which is their security organization, and that part is coming to a head, I think, and we're going to have some very uncomfortable conversations with the Pakistani government, and we should. I mean, this is not acceptable, and we got to figure out what's going on.
Bill, let's talk about gas prices here at home. Everybody's hurting.
Yeah.
And anything coming through Washington that is going to help?
Yeah, there's a couple of things, and I feel it too. You know, Natalie and I've got 5 young kids, and until they make a Prius that can fit the 7 of us, we're driving a Yukon XL.
We can always give away so many, $100 tanks of gas.
Yeah, that's right. And I $60 to fill up my little Taurus, and it's very expensive, and obviously everybody feels it. And typically when you see gas take that kind of jump, where does that come out of? It comes out of your grocery money, and so people are definitely feeling the pinch. So what are we doing about it? One, there is some limited things that we can do on a short term, and most of it is more of a long-term thing. And everybody says, oh well, if you do the permits and you start drilling, it's going to be 3 or 5 years before we have it. Well, guess what? If we had done this 3 or 5 years ago, we would be in a much different place. So we've got to increase our domestic exploration, and we can do it safely. Technology is kept up. Canada, which is our largest oil importer, has tar sands or oil sands, they call it, up in Saskatchewan and in the prairies. We have the exact same thing in the Dakotas, in Pennsylvania, in Utah, a lot of other places. They're using a technology called fracking, where they go in and basically crack it apart and pull it up. But we've got the federal government and EPA specifically standing in the way of a lot of those permits. Same thing with Gulf exploration. One of the reasons why we were out so deep is we've had the EPA really limiting how close we could be into the shore, and we believe it'd be safer in shallower waters. We wouldn't have some of those other issues that we had with the deep sea horizon, for example. And then so that's the domestic side. We have to then also make sure that we are being smart. How are we conserving? Right. Everybody's getting a lot smarter how we're driving around and how we're using our vehicles. And then the third thing is something that we really don't it's tough to get your arms around. But oil is bought and traded with one currency, the U.S. dollar, around the world. We've inflated our dollar, and that has artificially driven up the price of oil. And so what that means is we've got to get our spending under control. We've got to get our monetary policy under control. And just that alone, no consumption, additional consumption, no additional exploration, we can drive the price down if we just show some fiscal restraint. So,
all right, Bill, good to see you as always.
Hey,
I know
you
gotta
as
catch a
well.
plane, so
yeah.
we'll see you this weekend though at the Tulip Time Parade.
Yes, we'll be in there Saturday. So
All right.
good, great.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
It is 7:50 from managing migraines to